Today's topic, what I'm going to talk to you about, is the sweetness of wine. As you know, if you were to pick up any bottle and you were to look at it, there's always what we have, alcohol by volume. Now, alcohol by volume is an indication of how much alcohol there is in the particular bottle. Now, this Amarone del Valpolicella is a Classico, and I look at the back label. It's a 2017, and it is 15.5% alcohol by volume, which means that the level of ripeness when these grapes were picked was rather high, in fact quite generous, because the higher the level of sweetness in the grapes is determined to a large extent by the amount of sunshine and the warmth in the environment, and certainly during the growing period. Now, so if it's 15.5, the basic rule is this: the warmer the temperature, the warmer the climate, the more sunshine there is, the higher the sugar level. The higher the sugar level, the greater alcohol that one can convert the sugar into alcohol. The lower the level of sugar that we have, it's going to be somewhat difficult to generate a high alcohol by volume, generally speaking. So 15.5, I know this is going to be big, it's going to be bold, and it's going to be rich. On the other hand, I have here a German Riesling, and this is 9%. So that means immediately when you look at 9%, you know that it's going to be sweet. The general rule, any wine that is below 13.5% alcohol by volume is going to be sweet. So if it's 13%, it could be an off-dry, 12.5, moving to 11, to 10, to 9, certainly it's going to be sweeter. And that is evidenced by this particular Riesling. And also, if you were to perhaps try Moscato d'Asti and other wines that are perhaps of a much lower alcohol by volume. But what I thought would be of interest today is, how does the winemaker determine the amount of sugar in the grapes, and when does he decide it's a great time to pick? So before the actual harvest, the vineyard manager and the winemaker may well go out. I have participated in over 7 harvests, nearly 10 harvests. So if you have the privilege of going through a harvest, that means that's the terminology one uses when you have actually helped in making wine. So we call it a harvest. So I've participated in over 10 harvests in different parts of the world. Now, generally, this is the cluster. So they'll pick up the cluster and they will look at it. And I've just chosen this one as an example for you. And they may well choose, let's see, they may say, okay, I'm going to choose one from here, another one from here, sort of in a circular fashion, then one from here, and go further down in the middle and make sure there's a nice sample, one of each. And maybe just near the bottom of the cluster here, pick again, oops, and finally one here. And if possible, one right from the bottom. So we've got that, and I'm going to gently put this cluster down. And we're in the field, so we might take a plastic bag, and those particular grapes that I selected, I would put them into my plastic bag straight away, but in this case I have them on the saucer and then I put them in. Right, so zip it up. I'm going to put this away, and as you can see, I have the grapes here. I'm going to break them up. Yeah, lovely and squishy. Get some juice from it. and this is giving me a sort of sample of what I might be expecting from that particular part of the vineyard. Right. Then, as you can see, I have the juices which are now collecting here. The next step is I have in my hand a refractometer. Now, what does the refractometer do? The refractometer measures the level and the amount of sugar from that particular sample, certainly the level of sugar in the grapes. And when we're talking about sugar, we're referring to the fructose. And we'd open up this lid here, and we would put some of the juice from this bag into here, close it, and then looking towards close, not into the sunlight, but close where there is enough sun, I would, like a telescope, you know, or you're looking under a periscope, what they do with submarines, and you would look, and it would have a level like a mark, and that mark could tell you anywhere, let's get the sun there, anywhere from 15 to 21, 22, 23. Now those are measured either as bricks, so I've put it in here, I close it, and I'm looking and I'm observing. Now, the measurement of sugar is either in bricks, B-R-I-X, balm, oxalate. These are different names used in different countries to measure the level of sugar in the grapes. If the vineyard manager and the wine maker feel that the sugar level is too low, they might decide to wait maybe a week, maybe 10 days, or maybe they felt or they feel that it's ready to actually go to harvest. So this is an essential tool that they use. Now there's one thing you must remember. In the old world, which is Europe, they generally don't allow the adding of any sugar. Certainly one of the main aspects is in France that they use beet sugar if they do any additions. But in North America, in the New World, the addition of sugar is permitted, but it is not so in Europe. So only in exceptional circumstances. And this is a very powerful, it is a important tool in the winemaker's arsenal, and the vineyard manager and the winemaker together, they give a happy celebratory clap. It's not just one, it takes both of them, and together they can make that great sound. So whenever you are now picking up a bottle that is sweeter or it is drier, know that the winemaker and the vineyard maker had to decide at which time and how precise their level of sugar had to be before they could do it. So enjoy your glass of wine. So please comment, like, share, or subscribe to our videos.